Good morning. Welcome to the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, everybody. Glad to have you here today. Special guest in the house. We have Clayton Collins here today. CEO of HousingWire. Oh, my God. I can't believe we got him. You don't know the trouble we went through to make this happen. Carl White had to write quite the hefty check to get this to happen today.
Well, we had to have our people talk to his people.
Yeah. It was a process. My biggest concern was the background checks. That was the biggest concern on my part, but it looks like we got through that, luckily. Yep. I guess that guy we paid off.
And they pulled Maria's credit, not mine. So,
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, brought to you every Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time by the Mortgage Marketing Animals. For your free coaching pleasure, of course. Well, we do have Clayton Collins here today. We're going to get started a little quicker today than we normally do. But I did want to just see who's here right now that's going to be blitzing today. Who's going to be blitzing? You can raise your hand. You can raise your hand, put it in the chat. If you're blitzing, are you blitzing today? You going to get blitzed today? Who's getting blitzed today? Come on. I want to see who's getting blitzed. Robin Johnson's getting blitzed. Who else is getting blitzed? And Clayton, this is the phone call blitz.
I don't think he knows what they're.
Yeah,
it's like, what are you talking about?
It's a little early to get blitzed, Frank.
Welcome to the Breakfast Club.
Clarity around that, brother.
Yeah. Where we get blitzed. Yeah, no, we have what we call our Call Star Blitz, which is where we all get together. We have every day, we have what we call Call Stars, Clayton, at Mortgage Marketing Animals, which is every Monday through Thursday. We have an East Coast and West Coast time where loan officers jump on a Zoom just like this, and everybody, gets ramped up and then mutes, and everybody makes their calls together. So everybody's making their phone calls every single day. And so once a month or so, we do what we call the Blitz, where we go literally all day long. We normally do it for 2 hours. But today's the day, all day. Like, how many hours is it going to be, Gen Z? I don't even know.
6
hours.
6 hours today, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like everybody gets in, rolls up their sleeves, has all their lists of who they're going to call, and they make calls and ask for the business. And man, oh man, you wouldn't believe it, Clayton, how many deals come out of this. It's like crazy.
Tomorrow's the best day because we can hear the results.
Yeah.
I literally just put that in the chat. I was like, I can't wait to hear all the results tomorrow. That's my favorite part.
Yeah. I know. You know what it's like? It's like the Call Star Blitz is like going up to an orange tree that's full of oranges and just shaking the living daylights out of it. That's what it's like. And then everything just drops, and it's super, super cool. So
like a reset.
Good.
Yeah, it's like a reset. It's like a reset.
Yeah.
You know, we go around Frank and I go around the country, and Steve and Kevin, we go around the country and asking loan officers, what's the number one thing that makes you the most money? And almost always it's having conversations. And then we ask them, part two of that question is, how many hours, minutes, if any, did you spend doing that last week? And the average, this is a real thing. The average answer on the survey is 0. Mm-hmm. And so that's why we do the Blitz, is like for 6 hours, 6.5 hours. We're just all out making prospecting phone calls. We have a list of 6 different groups of people that we're calling. Between past database and agents you worked with in the past, but not lately, and just things like that. And it's amazing what comes out of that. So we do it like about once every month, maybe once every 45 days, something like that. It's absolutely amazing what happens when salespeople actually do sales activity. It's nothing short of remarkable.
And speaking of activity, we have to tune in to Sharon. Sharon, what are you doing over there? Are you remodeling the office on Breakfast Club? What's going on?
We have a big event tomorrow. We have our Galentine's event, so I'm trying to put together the arches and do my part before the Blitz because I don't want to be interrupted.
Right. So what, is it a bunch of realtors coming over, or what's going on?
Yeah, we've got about 45 realtors coming over.
No kidding.
It's a big event. It's one of our 2 big annual events.
I'm just curious. So you got to serve them food, right?
Yeah, we're making waffles and fried chicken, and we're serving mimosas.
Wow.
Hey,
okay.
I missed my invite.
If you're in Sharon's neighborhood, you know where to go. I've never had. I think we've had this discussion. I've never really had a good chicken and waffles experience. I'm telling you, dude, I've always heard about it. I know the story behind it. I know the blues musicians late at night come into some place and get chicken. I know the folklore, the whole thing. I was in Atlanta, Carl, on some speaking event or whatever a while back, and I was in the hotel, right? And down there super early in the morning for breakfast, and I see they had chicken and waffles, right? And I was like, I'm in Atlanta.
Yeah.
chicken and waffle. Now's my time, right? Now's my time. And so I ordered it, and I'm like, guys, I'm the only guy in this restaurant. Okay, like there was no one in it but me in this hotel.
Well, there's your first sign.
That's a problem. I should have thought of that. You're right, Carl. You are right. So I waited like 20 minutes for this chicken and waffles to show up, right? And I'm getting kind of antsy and like, what is going on? I'm the only guy in here. They bring me the chicken and waffles. I'm not even lying. I cut into the chicken and it's blood red.
Oh.
I just got up and walked away.
So you don't. So you're saying you don't like sushi? You don't like sushi?
Yeah,
chicken? Is
sushi
that what you're
chicken.
saying?
Nah.
Well,
Anyway.
our fried chicken's coming from Bojangles, so you know it's gonna be really good.
Gonna be
and if
good.
you haven't ever been there, you gotta go.
All right, good stuff. Hey, before we get Colin going here, we're about to bring him up. I want Kelly Dutton to say hello to everybody with one click commercial. She's doing a lot of commercial deals for all of us out here. If we're not familiar with commercial loans and just odd stuff, you know, acquisition and development. I sent you a lead for a guy who's got acquisition and development deal yesterday. But, you know, the kind of the stuff that us residential peeps were just really not that familiar with, right? I mean, I know a lot of you do commercial and stuff, but for those who don't, when that comes across your desk, you just get a hold of Kelly Dutton. She has a conference call with you and the client, right, on the phone. She takes it over. And she closes these deals. She just closed one for one of us yesterday, which is great. But Kelly, I was just wondering, give us an example of some of the like a recent kind of bizarre deal that you've done. You know?
Well, yesterday wasn't bizarre. It was just a difficult one. But we closed one yesterday. Angela Abney has one closing. It will either be later on this afternoon or first thing in the morning. So that will be closed. So there's 2 this week, and then Dana Valesky. She has one closing the 23rd.
Nice.
Every single one of them's unusual, to tell you the truth. They all dance to their own beat.
And this is why we send them to Kelly. This is what I'm saying. This is the reason why.
Their paperwork, of course, came in after January because of the holidays and maybe because of the shutdowns. I haven't brought this up. There are several SBAs closing. However, closing says 60 to 90 days out.
Yeah.
We're probably headed just towards the 30 closing. Some of them will pop up in the 45-day area. But the due diligence and the paperwork on the SBA, I just shout out to anybody that's working an SBA deal with me. Thank you for bringing in the paperwork. It's really hard. It's daily. They send you a needs list and they act like, you know, all right, we're that's all we need. And literally a day and a half will go by and the needs list will be almost the same. You know, they ask for your DNA basically. So,
right.
Yeah, the due diligence of the people that are getting the paperwork turned in and the follow-up. Don't be afraid to call me if I'm working a deal and you haven't heard from me. The borrowers disappear. It's not abnormal that they disappear for weeks and weeks at a time, but they come back. And there's always a mad dash to get their paperwork, you know, as they come back. So SBA, commercial DSCR, we have a lot of multi-door apartments coming up. We have 224 apartments on the line. I can't even tell you how many apartment buildings. A lot of New York, a lot of Chicago.
If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time. All right. Well, Kelly, thank you, man. Thank you so much for all your hard work. Super appreciate it. We put the link in there to reach out to Kelly, workwithoneclick.com. It's workwithoneclick.com. If you've got anything unusual, that weird stuff that you don't normally do, workwithoneclick.com is the link to go to. Give her a buzz. You can chat with her in the chat here a little bit too. She'll give you her email address or whatever you need to get started. But Kelly, man, thank you so much for all your hard work with everything you do, everybody. Really appreciate you. Okay, now we're on to the big show. We're going to bring on Clayton Collins, HousingWire CEO, my friends. Clayton, how are you, man?
Doing great, but I feel like I need to set the record straight on how I got onto the Breakfast Club. I'm pretty sure there wasn't loops of your people talking to my people. I think it was a text and said, "Hey, you want to join Breakfast Club?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." Send me the link.
The
Yeah,
other sounded better, Clayton. It was
it
like the
did.
security and the people.
The other made me sound like an a-hole.
No, it didn't.
Man.
Come
No,
on.
that's
We
not
don't we
true.
don't let those people on here. Trust me.
Okay.
You're here. You're good. We know it.
You're good, man. You're our people, bro.
Clayton, there's just a couple of things I want to, and Carl and Steve chime in, or the girls, or anybody at all, even in the chat, if you guys got questions for Clayton. He's the CEO of HousingWire. We all know. I mean, Owen Lee is usually on Thursdays with us with MBA Clayton. You know Owen Lee, I'm sure. Yep. And man, he references HousingWire all the time. And I've of course been a fan of HousingWire forever, and I think everybody else. I mean, you guys are the voice of housing out there. So I'm just curious. My couple of questions for you are: number one, you can see like what people are most interested in right now out of all the stories that you guys run and all the topics. There's probably a couple that rise to the top that like, man, everybody's really interested in this one. It really doesn't even matter what it is, but I'm just curious what it is. I just kind of like to know what people are kind of interested in. And really what I want to learn too is like, man, you are a successful guy. You've taken HousingWire from just a thought in your head to being the leading, real estate news source out there in the country. How in the heck did you make that happen? Like, I'd be just curious to hear your journey,
third,
a very brief journey, and some challenges you made. Yeah.
And then there's a third thing. Yesterday we were on here discussing how did you decide the layout of your 747 private jet? Like, did they come to you? Did you go to this? Like, how? Like, if you could kind of talk about that, we'd like to hear about that too. So.
That's what we're most
sketching
interested
out
in.
Those plans as I sit in 24D. So I'll let you know. But I'll start out. Thank you, Frank. I'll start out talking about what where we're seeing a lot of interest, and so that I have a little like recency bias. So on Tuesday of this week, we hosted our Housing Economic Summit here in Dallas. It's our second year doing this event. We do it at the George W. Bush Library, which is an awesome regal venue. It's very cool being on stage and in a room where multiple presidents have taken the stage, and just so many powerful, cool things have happened there. And I think what we're doing with the Housing Economic Summit is hopefully stands up to the same standard. But the room was filled with the chief economists of all of the trade associations and some of the big MLSs and data aggregators and financial institutions, CEOs from different IMBs and mortgage brokerages, real estate brokerages. And we had a really dynamic conversation with 15 different speakers, talking about how different housing economic trends are impacting existing home sales, new home sales, home building decisions, and lending. And the energy goes to a similar place as it does with the articles on HousingWire. People are extremely interested in talking about the housing market, what's happening in inventory, what's happening in price reductions, supply demand equilibrium, generational trends, mortgage products. There's a lot of talk about product diversity and making sure that as lenders we can meet the need of today's borrower, which seems to be changing a little bit. Conversations about rates, not just pontificating about what the Federal Reserve will or won't do, but also talking about pricing strategy and technology and tools that prevent margin leakage to help lenders be as sharp as possible across products and different regional markets, which seem to have some very focused strategies that different lenders have in certain parts of the U.S. as there's just more competition, and in some markets where it's a lot sharper or weaker right now as we go into what's hopefully a more vibrant spring selling and buying season than we saw in 25. So those are the high level themes, Frank, that we had on stage at the Econ Summit on Tuesday.
Interesting. Would you say that mirrors pretty much what you see on the website, like as far as the interest goes, as far as what people are clicking on the most, reading the most, or is there anything different there?
Come to us a lot for housing market information, and like we're really upped our game and the data assets we own and have access to, and our analytical capabilities over the last 5 years. And it's really, I think, changed what people come to us for. So housing market information at a local and national level has been a major draw that we see from across our whole audience, from originators to agents to the C-suite. Also, a lot of traffic toward content about product diversity, new products launching, changes in the non-QM landscape, which products are gaining market share or losing steam. And of course, people like to think and talk about mortgage rates, even though that's looking into the crystal ball conversation in a lot of ways.
Hey, one more quick question. Your staff, like, how many people are on staff for HousingWire? Like, you have so many that contribute, content and write for you and articles. How many guys? How many
We're about
people?
60 full-time team
No
members.
way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd
And that's
you get
changed
to
a
like
lot. I
the
mean,
most?
that's across content creation and video and podcast. And
Yeah.
we own a software business called Altos Research, and we have the data licensing product, and we have a rankings business called what started as Real Trends, but we're moving into loan originator and home builder rankings and analysis in 2026. So like the team's spread out across different products, but it's all meant and all built to help housing professionals make better decisions faster. So like that's our screen. If we're not going to put a product forward, we're not going to work on something, put time, money, human capital into something that doesn't distinctly and directly serve the housing professional, from origination to home sales to executive ranks.
Hey, Kristen.
Cool.
Kristen, do we talk about the elephant in the room here?
Of course we do.
I think we need to.
We don't gatekeep.
Right, so you listed this ranking of
I'm
podcasts,
waiting.
I knew there was
and you put Steve's, Chris's, and Frank's above mine, and we were just wanting to know, where did that data come? No, I'm just kidding. How'd you get started? How'd you get started?
Analytics, man. You heard him say it. They pay a lot of money to figure this stuff out.
Oh, I slipped in.
You can pick that bone with Zeb Lowe, Zeb at hwmedia.com. That's your guy.
Delegation, another reason he's so successful. Yeah.
How'd you get started with all this, Clayton? Are you the one that started it, or did you take it over? Or like, how did this thing morph?
Yeah, I acquired HousingWire in 2016. So I've owned and operated the business for 10 years. Before HousingWire, I was in financial services. I started my career at Citigroup, ran retail branches for Citi in the tri-state area, went on to Citi's national sales and marketing team, where we led cross-sell across the retail network. So depository products, as well as a little bit of lending, but most of my time there was during the Great Recession. So we were way more concerned about keeping capital inside of the bank than sending it out. So I had a lot of very depository focus during my time at Citi. From there, I went on to Royal Bank of Canada and did tech, media, and telecom advisory. So I spent a lot of time advising media companies on acquiring businesses through add-on acquisitions, and also helping some of the big national media companies sell non-core assets. So that's what really got me interested in media, and worked on some really cool deals. Like my favorite one, it's small, but it was fun. We helped Discovery Communications sell petfinder.com, which is the world's largest pet adoption site. And what people thought Pet Finder was a media site that monetized through advertising. What it really was the world's largest database of pet owners. And creative M&A strategies got me really excited about a career in media. And people look at that business from the outside and see pages and clicks, but for the ultimate buyer, who was Nestle Purina, it became the best go-to-market strategy for selling pet food you could ever imagine.
Wow.
So after doing a few years of M&A advisory, I left and went out and started hunting for acquisitions, and kind of have a fortuitous background. Frank knows this. My dad is an originator. I grew up around the mortgage industry. I spent my summers, building desks as he opened new offices and moving manila folders to Excel when he was trying to digitize. And I spent my childhood years doing administrative tasks for him and his mortgage brokerage, and then later community bank ecosystem. So I knew the industry well enough to be dangerous. And when I met the founders of HousingWire in 2015, I saw an opportunity to take what I knew
Pick him
from
out.
media
Pick him
M&A
out.
advisory to growing up in the financial services industry, and saw an opportunity to build something better. And we've
Wow.
long believed that housing professionals need and deserve better information. And I look at the banking and capital markets ecosystem and the incredible value that organizations like Bloomberg bring to that ecosystem with real-time financial data, married with news and community and communication, all on a platform that connects the ecosystem. And that's been inspirational for me about how we progress and build HousingWire. I think each of you deserve the best information possible, whether that's local market data, so you understand exactly what's happening in your backyard, how you compare that against national markets, because we all know that our clients and friends and family members are seeing national headlines, and those
Yeah.
don't always reflect what's happening in your local market, which was a big theme at the Econ Summit this week. So like we're seeing everyone talks about the K-shaped recovery and they're talking about incomes. There's also a two-sided recovery in the housing market. And it's about 50-50 of like which states have days on market under 100 days and 50-50 of which states have days on market over 100 days.
Hmm.
And some of them are competitive. Like there's markets in the Midwest and New England where days on market's in the high 60s and 70s. And then you're in states like where I live in Dallas, Texas, and I'm from Florida. You look at Southwest Florida, that had really hot years, but now you see days on market creeping up to 115, 120, 130 in certain zip codes. And if you're not armed with that information, you're running into a market that just doesn't match what you see in national data. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things that gets me excited about thinking about how do we make sure that we arm professionals to be as successful as possible, but we also in turn create better consumer outcomes. And I think that we've for folks that have been in the industry for more than a few cycles, how the blame was shifted to origination during the housing crisis. And I would say that like 2007 to 2009 is very influential on me growing up around the industry, but also working at Citi at the time. I think that the housing professionals, real estate and mortgage, we do a lot of good for homeowners. We'd help people build community, create wealth, have better family and personal and health outcomes. And I think we can only achieve that if we have great advice, and great advice starts with great information.
Yeah.
Totally awesome. Now I get it, like how this
Yeah.
happened. I didn't know that backstory, and so now it makes a whole lot of sense. As you were putting Housing Wire together and got it off the ground, obviously it's a lot different today than it was when you started, when you picked it up, right?
Very, yeah.
Like what are some of the challenges that we might be able to relate to that you went through? You know what I mean, to achieve the level of success that you're at right now. Just if anything pops out, like there was
I think
moment,
like
that moment, yeah.
anybody building a business goes through extremely like similar challenges. And I'm part of I have a group of 8 CEOs that I meet with multiple times a month, and all in different businesses. Like one of my closest friends runs a law firm, another manufacturers wound care products, and another like distributes liquor. And like you think, what do we have in common? Like we have a lot in common, because if you're trying to build and scale a business, it comes down to some similar challenges. The first one always being people. So when I bought HousingWire in 2016, we had 14 people, all of which were wearing 3 to 5 different hats. And I say 3 to 5 different hats, I mean like working with clients, doing ad operations for advertising clients, marketing, audience development, helping organize events if we were going to put one on. Like that's like one person doing all of those things. And when you have that culture where you need people in a small organization that can wear a lot of hats, and you want to scale and get to the next level, the biggest change is moving from jack of all trades to specialist. And I've found that very it's very hard to take people who have a jack of all trades mentality and move them to like really being a specialist. And people have a lot of trouble letting go of responsibilities that they once had to go into a highly focused role. So one of my biggest challenges as we've like gone through the last, decade, and we've been through a few different stages. I think a business at 14 looks really different than 30, and 50 looks really different than 30. And I hope I see more inflection points where 100 or 200 starts feeling very different than the experience I've had so far. But attracting the right people, helping grow and retain and evolve people that want to stay in the organization, but also not being afraid to make the hard decisions and changes when you know it's time for for the next level of talent. That's the biggest challenge that I've faced as a CEO. And I think this challenge that deserves the most attention.
Look at that. It sound familiar
Yeah.
to all of us here at Breakfast Club and Within Animals. Fascinating.
I got a couple things out of that. Frankly, it's one is for ourselves to not be wearing three different hats, right? That our primary hat, for most of us, our primary hats is one of a sales position, and to make sure that we're focused on that, and then the other is, frankly, if somebody's not working out, boy, it can be some tough conversations. I've had this processor for the last 5 years or 7 years or something like that, and he was great or she was great to get me to here, but then to go to here may or may not be the right person. So, what do you find yourself like? What do you do most of the day, Clayton? Like on your typical day, if we were to peek in at any one given time, what are you most likely doing?
I mean, I don't know if this is the right use of time, but I mean, right now it's like 80% like guiding people. It's like coming back to like, I have a great team. I have a great leadership team and team of lieutenants, but like once you start building specialists, then you need to keep people aligned and aware of what their counterparts are working on and how they collaborate and how we move in the same direction. I started the year off with not too major, but like small, like org realignment. And I have a president in the business who runs a lot of daily operations. And previously, almost everything in like daily execution was in his realm. I moved some of that to me, moved marketing around a little bit, and so I'm in a stage right now, and Carl, in February of 2026, and maybe this looks really different next month, where I'm trying to make sure all of our processes and are aligned and people know their responsibilities and things are moving really smoothly. We've done 5 acquisitions in the last 6 years, and for a moment, HW Media, which is like the parent org that I formed, not really like a market facing brand though, started to feel a little bit like a holding company. We have HousingWire and Altos and Real Trends and Reverse Mortgage Daily and the Builders Daily, a new home building publication we just acquired. And so I've been working really hard to integrate all that. So all of our like media assets and Reverse Mortgage Daily, Builders Daily, the Real Trends content are now fully integrated into HousingWire. And that, comes with like integration work, but also like people work. I have founders that need to transition out, people we need to hire. It's like a major focus there. And Altos is probably, and I hope something y'all will see through HousingWire very soon. Altos aggregates all active market listing data across the US. Real estate agents, for the most part, use Altos to communicate what's happening in zip codes out to their CRM and sphere of influence. We are integrating most of the Altos capability. Altos will continue operating as a software product, but most of the capabilities are coming into HousingWire. So our HousingWire subscribers now have the ability to see what's happening in their local market, compare markets. We've integrated AI into the platform, so you can like use the AI analyst and basically get a market write-up in Logan Motoshami's voice about what's happening in your zip code or multiple zip codes. And so
Neat.
people integration and product integration, Carl.
Hey, just as a reminder, if you're enjoying Loan Officer Breakfast Club here on YouTube, you can catch our live shows. The live shows are really cool because there's oftentimes downloads and giveaways. It's really, really fun. To subscribe, you simply go to loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. That's loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. Subscribe and join us on our live shows. They're 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Hope to see you there.
Yeah, you know what, I'm getting out of all this, Frank, and it's interesting. I love what you said about the pet company. Is what I'm getting from all this is you're not really in the data business per se. You're in the marketing to your database business, and you're a database guru, is what I'm getting out of all this. Like if you boil it all down, it's a it's which is the same model that Apple has, that Amazon has. They're into acquiring a database and then asking that database that what they want and then providing it to those people, which is just another way of saying marketing. That's kind of what I'm getting out of what you do.
That's knowing what your clients want is another theme that I think any business operator can relate to. And so we
Mhm.
use audience surveys and user surveys to get a feel for like what the top priorities are. That drives content strategy of what our newsroom's focused on. It also drives M&A
Mhm.
and product development strategy. So in 20 summer 2022, like our audience survey was, what do you need? And they said local market data. So what did we do? Went out and acquired Altos, and 6 months later,
Mhm.
that's in our business. And so we listened to the users and went and did what they asked for.
Yeah.
Give them what they
Love
want.
that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Steve,
Ask,
the problem with having somebody like Clayton on is
yeah.
I just feel so inadequate.
Mhm.
See
I do
everything he's
feel
doing. It's very inspiring. All kidding
it
aside, it's
is,
very
man. You're
inspiring.
doing a great job.
It really is. Yeah.
Love it.
And the neat
Hey, and
thing
if
too
somebody wants
is
to
go
connect to
ahead, Steve.
you,
Sorry.
well, if somebody wants to connect to you, Clayton, what tell them where they can
Like if
go.
we want
I
to
mean,
come
I
over
know,
for dinner or something like that,
Yeah,
like
just hang out,
yeah,
sit in your office,
Well, I
see
live
what
in
you do.
East Dallas. If
right on your
anyone
plane.
is here in Dallas, I'm happy to grab coffee or food.
like
But
with Housing Wire.
on social, I'm most active on LinkedIn and Instagram. I'm Clayton Collins on LinkedIn and Housing Clayton on Instagram. And if you want to engage with Housing Wire,
Yep.
housingwire.com. That's where we live. We host 5 events every year. Our big one is called The Gathering, which is built for leaders across the housing industry. It's we've kind of coined as the most powerful room in housing, where we will have leaders from every IMB and wholesale lender and real estate brokerage and home builder. And we're working on some big names from policy and government right now for our April event down in Austin. That's a big one. It's a 4-day event. That's like kind of a always at a tier one resort, and we make it a lot about community amongst leaders. And we also host 4 one-day summits. So we just had the Econ Summit here in Dallas. Actually, they're all in Dallas. I kind of have a bias for my backyard. And we do an AI summit in August, a home building summit in October, and a IMB summit in October. So we use the 1-day summits as an opportunity to introduce new people to Housing Wire at our events, and also test out speakers that make the main stage for the gathering. Those are primarily at the George Bush Library, which is our preferred venue.
Love it.
Awesome.
Man, thank you.
This has been great, man. Thank you,
Yeah.
Clayton. You're awesome. Thanks for coming here, bro. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I like it too because everything Clayton was saying, really, if you think about it, it's everything that gets taught here for us as originators, really. I love the fact that one of the biggest hurdles is just managing people, making sure people are doing what, having those strategic things that they do, including ourselves, of course.
Mhm.
Hey, real quick question, Clayton. You said that you're reshuffling, taking some tasks that one of your guys is doing, your president is doing over to you, reassigning certain tasks. Like we talk about this too, where we reevaluate our processes and our systems and our people, right? How often do you do that? Just out of curiosity.
So, I mean, I'll take this back to so I was at Citi during the financial crisis, and like everyone joked, and it was real that the C stands for change, and I think that like has been embedded in my operating philosophy ever since, for better or for worse. And so I mean, we're reevaluating like org structures and responsibilities like at least annually, sometimes more than that, based on like M&A and business needs.
Mm.
Um, right now I have a consultant in the business helping me with some integration work. And that was the precipice for some of the reorganization we did because I needed a lot of focus on this project. And it's important enough that it was worth like changing some real operating responsibilities. But I am probably too comfortable with change. Like a change does not like freak me out at all. And I will fully admit that the people on my leadership team today have either come into this organization with the same appetite for change and driving hard, or they've learned to deal with it. And if they didn't come with it and they can't learn to deal with it, and they're not a fit here. And like so, like that's a like we move pretty fast and pretty intense.
Cool. That was good for me to hear. I like that. Awesome. Clayton Collins, everybody. Housing Wire. Go to housingwire.com. We'd love to have you back again, Clayton. If that's cool.
Thanks for the invite.
All right. How about Monday? We'll see you then. All right. Just kidding. All right. Good stuff. Hey, Clayton, thank you, man. Super, super gracious of you. Really appreciate that so much, man. We will bring you back for sure. All right. We're getting ready to move toward the Blitz, right, guys?
Yeah.
Blitz starts in 25 minutes.
Lead us, Gen Z. Lead us. What do we do? What are our instructions here?
So you're gonna get on the East Coast Call Star link, and we're gonna start at 9:30.
Okay, so
And be ready, just like
in 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
yeah.
Okay, so 25 minutes, log in, go to the East Coast Call Stars link, and rock and roll.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and you should have an email, members, and our one-day pass people. You should have an email. I just got mine at 8:15, so somewhere around there. Subject line: we start at 9:30, and in that there's a scripts. There's a scripts, that you can download in that email. A little button you push there, and it'll give you an outline of the scripts of the 6 different calls that we're doing. Will be right there, and then also we're going to give you a link as soon as we get signed on. I'll wait about 5 minutes. Let everybody get signed on, and I'm going to give you a link that has some training on it. That don't watch the training today. It's kind of late for that. We want you to be out doing your prospecting, but maybe after you do it, you could kind of watch some of the training and see maybe areas that you could tweak, or frankly maybe give us some suggestions about what you did that was different and maybe better. Right? That's where we get our scripts from. Is from you fine people. So good to see you.
What are we tracking today?
What's that?
I wanted to know just real quick. Are we tracking specific things today, like number of dials, number of talk tos, number? Like,
I would recommend people to use the Freedom Tracker, the activity tracker.
Yep.
And we're gonna if you haven't done the Freedom Tracker, we're gonna give you a little link. I think Meg put together a little.
Yep, Meg's got a tracker.
Yeah, Meg put a like kind of a simple tracker, because today's not the day to kind of be figuring things out, right? Today's the day to actually be taking action. Imperfect action is better than no action. I promise you that. So a bad day on the phones is better than an excellent day learning the training, right? Mm-hmm. Just being honest, right? So so go out and do the activity, and when we get on there, we'll help you with the tracking stuff. We'll be giving at the very beginning. We're going to give you like 3 different things to download. But again, we don't want you spending time figuring out today. Today, we want you to actually spend just doing.
All right. Great stuff. And for clarity, guys, if you're on the West Coast, you still use the East Coast Call Stars link. Yep. You still use the East Coast Call Stars link.
And I did just put a last call for anyone who wants to join today. The $97 offer. I just did put that link in there. If you want to do it and you have questions, Meg and I are going to be available to answer questions throughout the day. So,
and I hear that
that's whatever you need.
And I hear the special bonus is you get to take a ride on Clayton's plane. Anywhere you want to go, you just tell the pilot where you want to go, and Clayton will take care of that.
You will be in 24D, but you do get to be on the plane.
That was
yeah. So,
hey, Clayton, we appreciate you, man. Keep
making
a difference, brother. Great job.
All right, let's get out of here, you guys. Have a great day. Go get blitzed, my friends. Go get blitzed. We'll see you mañana. Adios.
See you.
Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being here.